Welcome back, everyone, to my deep dive into the book of Proverbs. Today we'll be finishing chapter 1, starting at verses 120 through 133. Wisdom shouts in the streets. She cries out in the public square. She calls to the crowds along the main street, to those gathered in front of the city gate. How long, you simpletons, will you insist on being simple-minded? How long will you mockers relish your mocking? How long will you fools hate knowledge? Come and listen to my counsel. I'll share my heart with you and make you wise. I called you so often, but you wouldn't come. I reached out to you, but you paid no attention. You ignored my advice and rejected the correction I offered. So I will laugh when you are in trouble. I will mock you when disaster overtakes you, when calamity overtakes you like a storm, when disaster engulfs you like a cyclone, and anguish and distress overwhelm you. When they cry for help, I will not answer. Though they anxiously search for me, they will not find me. For they hated knowledge and chose not to fear the Lord. They rejected my advice and paid no attention when I corrected them. Therefore, they must eat the bitter fruit of living their own way, choking on their own schemes. For simpletons turn away from me to death. Those fools are destroyed by their own complacency. But all who listen to me will live in peace, untroubled by fear of harm. Now that we have read the passage, we can begin to digest, starting with Proverbs chapters 1, verse 20. Wisdom shouts in the streets. She cries out in the public square. And I think that's kind of symbolic of God trying to reach out to us, because, that's what wisdom is. That's God. And we know from previous verses here that true knowledge is based on that fear of God, and that will come into play a little bit later into the passage. Continuing, she calls to the crowds, to those gathered in front of the city gates. And again, God's trying to reach out. He's trying to inform people, and he's calling out, how long, you simpletons, will you insist on being simple? How long, you mockers, will you mock? How long will you hate knowledge? Come and listen to my wisdom. I'll share you my heart, make you wise. And God's trying to raise us out of this dead place, out of this simple, dumb ways. He's trying to make us smarter, make us wiser, make us, better. But it continues saying, I have called you so often, but you wouldn't come. I reached out to you, but you paid no attention. You ignored my advice, you reject my correction. And I think that's very on the nose. Just people are just straight up rejecting God and his counsel and his wisdom. And when the time comes, he's saying, I will laugh at you when you're in trouble. I will mock you. I will, when calamity takes over you like a storm and disaster engulfs you, and anguish and distress overwhelm you, I will mock you. When you cry to help, I will not answer. And I don't think that's quite literal. I think that's more so when you get judged. In my mind, that's more so when you're getting judged and God's like, I tried to reach out to you, I tried to save you, I tried all these things, but you never took it. And then he's gonna send you to hell. And it continues here. Though they anxiously search for me, they will not find me. And that's actually, Jesus himself actually says that. He himself will say, they will look for me, but they won't find me. And I think that kind of further supports what I was saying before, right? I mean, they're going to be suffering in hell because they rejected God and His wisdom, but they're going to see, and they're going to be like, man, I wish I did this, now I'm suffering. And they're going to be looking for Him in hell, but they won't find Him there. For they hated knowledge and chose not to fear the Lord. Continuing at 130 here, they rejected my advice and paid no attention when I corrected them. Therefore they must eat the bitter fruit of living their own way, choking on their own schemes. Again, just God was reaching out to them. They were trying to save him. They were trying to do everything. He's trying to do everything he can to save just as many people as he can. But, I mean, if they pay no mind to him at all and they don't want to be saved, then in the end, they're gonna, like it says, they have to eat the bitter fruit of living their own way. I mean, they made their bed, now they have to lay in it. It's unfortunate. For simpletons turn away from me to death. Fools are destroyed by their own complacency, but all who listen to me will live in peace, untroubled by fear of harm. And now God's saying here, fools are destroyed by not wanting more. And that's kind of like the whole lukewarm Christian mindset. I mean, like, oh, I got saved, I don't need to do anything anymore. Caught in complacency. Simpletons, they don't want anything to do with them. They turn away from them to their own death. But I mean, there's light at the end of the tunnel here, saying, all who listen to me will live in peace. All who reads the Bible, they pray, they listen for God's word, they're actively seeking him, and they're taking his advice in. They're doing the things that they got to do. And it says they will be untroubled by fear of harm. And I think that's kind of symbolic of not just hell, but also some of the troubles of life. They hear me out. How many times in your life has something gone wrong, but granted it could have gone worse, or it could have kept going wrong, but it got better? Thank y'all for listening in. I won't be making a video tomorrow, but I should have one Sunday. So thank you again. Have a blessed day.